Hey party people, I'm Kelly.
And I'm Bean.
And we're Kelly Bean's Bees. We're second year beekeepers here in Central Virginia, and today we are going through the Chunky Monkey Hive at the Pumpkin Patch.
Yep. So we went through the super. We had a couple of frames that were ready to extract. I was debating whether or not to leave them on, do a lot of them all at once, like let them kind of do most of the box before I take the whole box, or if I was just going to take it now and then have the frames to add back on. The problem is that down here in these boxes on most of my hives, we're getting packed out with honey. We're having so much honey that the queens aren't having room to lay. So I want to extract as much honey as I can out of my supers to then have empty drawn combs that I can put back on, and the bees can store resources up there so that they're not packing out the brood box anymore. So we took 3 frames of honey. I think it's technically 2.5. I think one of them wasn't quite drawn out on the other side. They had started to fill it, but hadn't done a lot with it. So one side was done, one side didn't really have much wax on it at all. So 2.5 frames of honey, still pretty good, especially added to everything else we've taken over the past week-ish.
Yeah.
So we're going through down here, and I've already seen one frame completely full of honey.
This one's
And this one is full of honey and nectar on my side, and it's full of honey on this side. So we've got some drawn comb with us. And as long as I see probably 2 more frames like that are completely full of honey, I'm going to start taking honey out of the brood box, and we're going to extract that.
Okay.
Because, as I said, they're running out of room to lay eggs. And that's a big deal. That's a big problem because they're going to swarm, they're going to leave, we're going to lose a queen, we're going to lose a lot of population. Problems. So, we're going to take that honey out of here that they're just storing way too much of down here. And we're going to start giving them drawn frames that they can continue to store resources or put brood into.
Yeah, perfect.
So I'm going to keep on going through. So this is brood on my side.
Mine has honey and then I think nectar.
Yes, honey and nectar. So you can see I've got the little tan capped cells. That's all of our brood, so those are baby bees. Always a good thing to see. I'm just looking in here to see if I see eggs. I don't really see anything in the gaps between them, but that's okay. We do have brood, so we've at least got some new bees that are going to be coming. But I am looking for eggs, because eggs tells me that we have a queen.
Or in the last 3 days had a queen.
Right.
This side is all honey.
Yeah, this is all nectars and pollens and honeys. Yep, that's all honey. Okay, so I'm definitely taking that frame that was completely capped honey, because they've got a ton of resources up here, and I need to give them some extra room. Oh, this is another one that's got a lot of honey.
Completely honey.
Oh yeah, this one I'll probably end up taking too, because the other side, my side, isn't drawn out very well, but we can still take that honey off of there.
But that side is thick.
Yes, it is very thick. So again, normally I wouldn't take honey out of the brood box because this is their honey to eat over the winter. But we are in a pretty major flow from what I can tell.
Yeah, it's June, the day
18th?
before Father's Day.
Yeah.
17th?
17th, something like that.
I think it's the 17th. Oh no. I think a bee got in my thing. I think I'm okay.
So yes, we've got a lot of honey coming in. They're packing it out. And if they don't have room to lay eggs, it's a bigger problem than if we take a little bit of honey now.
Yeah, this is nothing to them, right?
It's not a ton. They're going to be bringing in a lot more as the year goes on.
Do you want me to take your hive tool?
Yes, I was about to set the hive tool down. Honey frames get really heavy.
Yeah, we think that they weigh more than a gallon of milk, right? Or about. A gallon of milk's around 8 pounds.
Probably a little under that.
Okay, about a gallon of milk.
Alright, I didn't get many of the bees on.
I like how thick that one is.
Yeah, I know. That one's going to be easy to uncap.
Oh yeah, uncapping with the knife is the roughest.
Not too bad. We just don't have a lot of experience with it since last year was the first year that we actually got honey. Alright, can you hold that for me?
Yep.
So that's
I'll be
our
sticky.
uncapped frame.
Hopefully you can see. We took honey out of there last week. There's still some around, but that's what we'll put in the hive.
I'll take both of these out for now. All right.
When it gets deep like that, you can see who cut it on accident. Might have been me.
So I'm going to drop that on in there.
Okay, then I think it was third from it.
Yeah, I think that one.
That one, yeah. I believe. I already have bees on this thing eating it up.
That's good. So these frames still have a little bit of honey on them.
Yeah,
we
we're
can't
not
really
perfect.
get everything out. So we just get as much as we can. And then the bees will go through and clean it all up once we stick it on.
Nice shake.
All right. So we have a lot of honey.
Honey. Hopefully we have people to buy the honey.
I think we'll be okay with this part.
Yeah. The other frame is right there.
So, I'm still going through, and I want to make sure that there
There's
are
enough
eggs
room.
down below.
Yeah.
That the queen has been here and she's doing her job.
And she has more room.
If you missed the last video, we already have a hive that doesn't look like it's got a queen. No eggs, no brood for that matter, so they've been a while without a queen. So, as long as this hive has a queen, we're going to split that hive down between our other two hives just to keep the foraging population, keep all the nurse bees so that we don't lose out on all that efficiency. And then
I don't think
we can
this is
hopefully save those bees from not just, dying off and not really doing a whole lot.
I think this needs a refuel.
Okay. I will take this out.
Is that one
This
closed?
I opened it up a little bit, but it looks like they've started closing it again. So,
found
some of
that
these
last
older hive beetle traps that we've got, the bees are putting propolis all inside of them. All inside the holes, I should say, and closing it off. Which kind of defeats the whole purpose of the hive
Having
beetle
it,
trap.
yeah.
Because, if the hive beetles can't get in, then they can't die in it. So I'm going to stick that there, and hopefully the bees will get off of it, and we can take it and either clean it up or just get a new one. Because, as I said, it's not really doing a whole lot of good right now.
Do you want to start this before you start it?
Yep, I will.
So Bean's going to start the smoker again because that's a two-hand job and I only have one hand to offer. So the bees are still very active around our heads.
Yes.
I have to say these bees, I guess they're older, I don't know. More established than the ones at the turkey house. I feel like they're not as jump at you in your face. It's also very windy today. But I'm a fan because it's like in the 80s. It's getting hot in the sun. So, yeah. But here are lots of bees for you. Show you the fronts of the hives today. Show you how busy they are. So you can see the hive all the way at the end where Bean is super busy. The one in the middle not as much, and then this one's pretty busy. Which is good to see.
Alright.
Got
That should be
it.
a lit smoker. Potentially. When it's windy like this, the smoker struggles a little bit to get smoke to the hive because the wind just picks it up and takes it.
Yeah. Right into our faces.
Yep, pretty much. But that should be enough for me to get these frames out, get started down here.
Yeah.
So really at this point, I'm just looking to see if they've got eggs, if they've got larvae, signs of a queen. And then if they do, if the queen's got room to lay, or if they are
Packing out.
putting so much honey down here that she
This side's
can't.
neat. It's a beautiful frame.
Yeah, so that side looks really good. This side, they're starting to draw it with a little bit of nectar.
Nice.
So, we like to see honey, but what we really need down here, as I said, is eggs.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what we've got down here.
Honey, and not drawn well.
Yep, that's another nice frame of honey. It's good to see that they have a lot of resources, but resources don't do you much good if there's nothing that you're really putting the resources into.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like having a lot of money, but we like need stuff, you know, to live. I think the side is just pollen.
Yeah, I've just got pollens and nectars. There's a couple of queen cups here, but there's nothing in them. I'm hoping that as I get a little bit closer in here that I get some brood. Yes, brood and eggs and everything we're looking
This side has some old brood.
So I've got brood. I've got some pretty young larvae in here. I'm looking for eggs. Trying to get a good angle with the sun.
Like tilt it just right.
Right. Let's do this way. So I've got quite a few larvae in here.
Okay.
I do have eggs. Yes. Okay.
This is when
that's
we hit
really
the
good to
little
see.
crowd cheer button.
And I do have an egg in this queen cup.
I feel like that's what we did last time.
I'm going to, though, take all of this off the bottom.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, it's not the prettiest, but it'll wax shoes worth sits in there.
Yeah. Alright, well,
I guess you can take out a few to get it to it.
potentially. I'm wondering if I can just do this.
Stick
Please
your
hold,
hand.
everybody. I have dropped some wax into the hive.
I just hope the queen's not on that frame. You okay?
Yes.
Maybe.
I just had a weird hold on the frame. Okay. So, that looks okay. I don't see a queen on there. I don't really want to set the queen outside of the hive because it's a higher chance of something happening to her.
Can you reach that down there?
I'm going to take this frame out and see.
Okay.
Trying not to brush up against everything else that's down there. Alright.
We retrieved the wax.
Now that fiasco's over. So I have seen eggs. So I am going to go ahead and squish these queen cups.
This bee is,
If I see anything that's further along than this, because this just has an egg in it, if I see anything that they've actually started building out, has larvae, anything like that, then I may not scrape those off. I may move them into a nuke.
Okay.
Or potentially even move them into this other hive.
The
But this other hive is getting so
So it might be too
old,
far gone. Yeah.
right, that it may be too late to do something like that. But we'll see what we've got. It may end up that there's no problems with them at all. That they just had a couple of cups and that was it. And we did take some frames of honey out. I've got more larvae. I believe more eggs in these cells, but the sun isn't being my friend right now. A little bit of nectar and pollen down here, but not a lot. So that's good to see. Yeah, I've got more eggs in here. Okay, so this hive is looking pretty good. So we've got two hives that are looking really good out here, and then a hive
And
that's
one
looking
that's just
kind of, yeah. So, yeah, this is good. Okay, they've got plenty of space down here. They're storing all their resources up top like we want them to. All their brood is down here. I'm going to go through one more frame, but I've only seen a couple of those cups. One of them had an egg, so it was technically a cell. My gloves have gotten really sticky. I need to wash them because bees and bee parts get stuck to my gloves even when they aren't trying to sting them. And it becomes a problem.
Yeah. keep thinking you got stung.
No, it's just dirty.
Debris.
Right, I really need to clean them off. So, I'm going to go through this one more frame and kind of see what it looks like, make sure there's no queen cells or anything. If there's not, then what we're going to do...
This side has some
Yeah,
brood.
no, this looks really good. What we're going to do is figure out how we're going to combine these hives back together. Because sadly, whatever happened to the cookie dough queen, she's gone. They didn't make a new queen. But that's okay, we can still use their population. And then once the honey flow is settling down a little bit, once we're not pulling in so much honey,
Yeah.
we'll probably try to split these hives down quite a bit, just because there's so much population in them, and try to see if we can get more queens out here.
Okay.
But I'd say for now we'll leave you off there.
Yeah.
We may give you an update on what we did with the cookie dough hive. If not, just know we split it between these two hives.
We're not going to record it because I'll have to help you doing it.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
Yeah.
So we're just going to split them out. If anything interesting happens, if we do end up finding a queen, then we'll bring it back. But I don't foresee anything like that happening. It didn't look like they do. So we're just going to leave you here.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for being here, and
Bees out.
bees out, y'all.